Insights Amber Coles is in the studio with an author who might have found a new subject.
I'm here with local children's author Brian Rock to talk about his fourth published book, The Deductive Detective. Thanks for being here, Brian.
Thanks for having me, Amber.
Now, Deductive Detective, it's a book.
Hard title to say. Easier to read, though.
Yes, it's a book about a duck. There's a bunch of puns and really cute things for children. How did you come up with the different animals that were not the animal that took the cake?
Well, as I was trying to come up with clues that would be specific to an individual culprit, I had to come up, like, for instance, one of the clues is a strand of hair. So I knew if I added a bird, birds don't have hair, they have feathers. So as I already know who my culprit is, and I have to work backwards towards the beginning of the story and say, all right, my criminal has all these traits. What's an animal that has some of the traits like that, but one different? All right, what's another animal that has one more different thing, and work all the way back?
What's the thought process like when you're writing a children's book? Because you have to be in a different mindset to write for kids versus adults.
Unless you're just a kid all the time. Like, I'm one of those ill-behaved kids, like when you're at a museum and you see the plaque that says, do not touch. I'm always the one that
touch that. Well, you said your favorite authors were Mo Willems and Jim Henson. How have they influenced the way you write?
Right. Well, Jim Henson was more live action than an author. But what he did and what I love and what I respect about him is he didn't say, I'm an adult creating entertainment for kids. He said, I'm Kermit, and this is what Kermit does, or I'm Fozzie Bear, or, I'm Ralph the dog. He got into the character and became a kid himself and created from that center of awareness. And Mo Willems does the same thing. So, I am the pigeon. I'm going to drive that bus. Let me drive that bus.
Yeah.
And he's not writing, all right, kids, please learn not to let animals drive buses. He's saying, I want to have fun. Why won't you let me have fun? Let me out of this adult constraint that society has put me in, and let me be my inner child.
So as a child, when you were reading children's books, what would attract you to certain books, if anything?
Like most kids, it was usually the pictures, and I hate to say that because I'm the writer and I get no credit for the artwork, but I've been lucky. I've had some really good artists with my books. But the kind of stories I liked were ones where the character was a little bit different. I love Ferdinand the Bull because he was a bull that acted opposite of how you would expect a bull to act. Offhand, let's see some of the other stories. As I got older, I loved The Phantom Tollbooth was a book I loved just because of the wordplay it used with taking words literally and building a whole universe out of what if this word were applied literally? How would that change the environment we live in?
Now, speaking of illustrators and authors,
Yes.
Piggies, your second published book,
There it is.
was done by Kate Hudnall.
And she did a fantastic job.
Is, I understand, a VCU student?
She is a VCU alumnus. She is a graduate now.
Now, most authors don't get to meet their illustrators. How important for you is it for you to meet your illustrators and kind of get to know where they're coming from?
Well, it's not important to me because they're already talented without me. I'd probably mess them up a little bit. But I did have the opportunity to work with Kate and with my first illustrator, John Murner, and that was incredible because to me, writing is what I love to do and I enjoy it. But artwork, for artists that can actually create on a blank page, to me that's like magic. I mean, they could just as quickly pull a rabbit out of their hat and it would be the same effect on me. It's like, you turn that circle into this like giant revolving, rotating machine. Just a couple quick lines and there it is. I'm just amazed every time I see an artist at work.
Well, I've been chatting with author Brian Rock. His new book, The Deductive Detective, will be available on Amazon on March 1st. Thanks for being here, Brian.
Bookstores too. Thank you so much, Amber.